Welcome to the Cultivation Podcast. I am your host, Tom Hammel, and this is the season finale of season 5. And this is actually a part 2 episode. So if you missed last week, you need to go back and listen to that and watch that, because this season we are talking about words to live by, things to implement or remove from our life. And I'm still here with my amazing, beautiful wife, Jami, and we're still talking about words, but we have 2 new words. So I'm going to ask you which one you want to talk about. So we have dreaming and we have confidence. These were the words that we're going to end season 5 with. So what word do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about confidence.
You want to talk about confidence
first?
first?
We can talk about dreaming last.
Okay, we're going to end on dreaming. We're going to start with confidence. So here's what Webster says. I looked these up online, Webster.com. Confidence. A feeling or consciousness of one's power or of resilience on one's circumstance, right? So a feeling of or consciousness of one's power or resilience in one's circumstances. Faith or belief that one will act in a right, proper, or effective way. The quality or state of being certain. A relation of trust or intimacy, right? So a relationship of trust or intimacy. Confidence. Now, let me ask you this question. I already know the answer, but I'm going to ask this question.
Great.
Have you always had confidence?
Nope. It's not part of, has never been part of who I am.
And what do you think?
I'm learning.
You're learning confidence.
I'm learning confidence.
You think confidence can be learned?
Absolutely.
What's the key ingredients for learning or gaining confidence?
Oh, man.
I know I ask all these tough questions.
How
are you learning confidence?
I mean, man, it goes back to getting healthy. And I know that sounds really weird, but just getting my whole body healthy. I know that sounds like, why would that have anything to do with it? But it really does. I mean, when you're healthier, I had 57 pounds to lose. So when I lost that weight, it just brought on another level of like, wow, I can do this. Like, okay, I can have confidence in this, which I didn't have that before. Yeah. I don't know. It does for me. I just bring it back to I had to get healthy in my whole body though. It wasn't just about losing the weight.
Sure.
That did help, but I had to rethink. I had to relearn things about myself. I had to learn how to talk better about myself. I had to, do all those things.
I do want to lean into self-talk.
Yeah.
Right? Because, I mean, I said this in one of our other episodes that we are the single most influential voice in our life.
Absolutely.
Right? So
yeah.
I don't mean we as in Tom and Jami. I mean, Tom is the single most influential voice in Tom's life, right? Jami is the single most.
Yeah.
So if we have that much influence over ourselves, the things we say to ourselves about ourselves carry a lot of weight. And so
it does.
What have you had to learn about self-talk?
Oh, self-talk has been a big thing for me. I've just had to stop putting the negative thoughts in my mind of like, you can't do this, or you're not good enough to do this, or,
worthy enough.
Like
you don't deserve.
You don't deserve this. And you do. I mean, we are worthy of doing things. We are capable of doing things. So having that self-confidence and just relearning the things that you say to yourself daily, it has to be putting good words in your mind. And, it all does go back to like the last episode of having that morning routine and, what you put in your mind first thing in the morning really makes a difference of your whole day.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I put worship music on because it just helps, or pump up music or, hype music or, whatever your day is going, whatever you have going on in the day is kind of, what do you start with?
I will say, because you talked about music, our all-time, this is true pretty much across our family, our household family anyways, our all-time favorite music is the Greatest Showman soundtrack.
Yeah.
You
Come Alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we jam that. We rock that all the time. We go to church with the Greatest Showman soundtrack.
So many good things in that song, though, like just awakening and coming alive and who you are. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And I think some confidence building routine is giving yourself permission to want. And this isn't a word on the card. We don't have this word, but I feel like the lack of confidence can kind of be tied to this word guilt or guilty. Oh, I feel guilty for wanting this.
Absolutely.
I feel guilty for thinking I should have that. I feel guilty for trying to go after nice things, good things, more things, whatever. And
totally.
we know things don't satisfy us, but we do have desires in our heart.
Yeah.
The confidence to go get those.
Yeah.
Is, we've got to remove the guilt for having
Totally.
that. How are you strategic in building confidence in our girls?
Well, first of all, just telling them they are capable of doing hard things. I think sometimes in the world that we live in, it's like, oh, if it's hard, then just give up. But they are capable of doing hard things.
Yeah.
You are capable. I'm capable of doing the hard things. And so just always telling them, of course, you're beautiful, you're amazing, all of those things, but just letting them know, like, you have to take personal responsibility of these things. And so that, that's one of the things that we talk about a lot is, okay, it's personal responsibility.
Yeah.
And I think that has a lot to do with the confidence because you are personally responsible for what you do.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where we lead the girls in.
I've tried to, I dote on our girls all the time. I'm super lovey-dovey. Britton is more affectionate than Kylie.
Yep.
Just their personality type. That's who they are. That's whatever. But one of the things that I determined early on in my fatherhood journey is like the first memory that I want my girls to have is daddy saying, I love you.
Yeah.
Like the very first memory. Because every time they walk outside of our door, I realize that life can be a lot more difficult for females. There's a lot more for them to overcome. So I just always wanted them to know. I wanted their confidence to come from no matter what they do, daddy absolutely loves them. And there's nothing they can do to shake that or change that or diminish that. And even failing, I'm more proud of the risks they take than the fact that they didn't necessarily succeed or, whatever that means. So I have tried to build or instill confidence in them going, you can do this. You can go accomplish that. And even if you miss the goal or the mark or the prize, we're going to celebrate you and be proud of you because you took the risk. You tried.
It's all about trying.
Right? Yeah. And so we have some pretty courageous girls in our household and that I'm obviously extremely proud of and confident that their confidence is there. Not that they don't have their insecurities like all of us do, but
for sure.
That's one way that I've tried to just build confidence in them. And I try to build confidence in you. I don't know if it works, but
no, it definitely helps.
We need champions in our corner, right?
Absolutely.
People cheering us on, supporting us, that sort of thing, saying, you got this.
Yeah. I mean, just going through my journey the last 3 years, you've definitely been my biggest cheerleader. So I appreciate that. But just always telling me like, babe, you can do this.
Yeah.
When I'm like, oh, I don't think I can be on that podcast. I don't think I can talk with
she
you
did
right
not
now.
want to be here. She did not want to be here today for this. Not that she doesn't want to, just nervous.
It's just not something that is comfortable, but I'm building confidence. And so it's all about doing hard things, right?
You got great stuff to say.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's no problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. Available today, my book, The Life You're Meant to Lead. It's finally here. It's finally available. You can get it from Amazon. You can get it from our website, ourcultivatedlives.com. We got it in the tree version. We got it in the e-version. We got it in the audio version where I read the book by the author, The Life You're Meant to Lead, a powerful tool. Pick up your copy today. I don't know where we're at on the clock or whatever, but we have one more word.
Yeah.
So it's dreaming. This is the definition: to consider as a possibility. Right? So that's literally dreaming. I mean, they gave other ones about things that you see in your sleep and all that kind of stuff, but that's not how we mean it today. About having a dream board or thinking about the future. What does your future self look like? What can you see behind your eyes? I'm going to ask you to explain what that means, that sort of thing. But literally, Webster's Dictionary says to have a dream of, fill in the blank, to consider as a possibility or imagine. So how significant is dreaming to people?
It's huge. I mean, I always come back to 3 years ago, but this is just really where
a significant awakening happened in you.
Totally. I didn't dream really too much before 3 years ago. Yeah, I wanted nice things and all of that kind of stuff, but I didn't really know what it meant to actually dream about something and then to see little things start happening.
Yeah.
And then the dreams start getting a little bit bigger. And then some of those things start happening and then more dreams start awakening in you. And I mean, we talk about this with the girls all the time of if you dream big.
Yeah.
And I think some of my mentors that I have had in the last 3 years, this is where they have just really helped awaken that inside of us and inside of me, probably even more than you, because you've always been like, let's do this, but I never really thought about that kind of stuff growing up. I just was like, going through life. But there's so much more.
Yeah.
And we kind of talked about this already of not feeling guilty about it. But knowing it's okay to want
giving
more.
yourself permission.
It's okay. Yes. It's okay to dream. It's okay to actually accomplish them.
Yeah.
And do those things.
I heard somebody in one of these, one of the seminars, training sessions that we were in about fearful of your own success. Yeah. What if it works? What if it takes off?
Actually happens?
Fearful of a dream. Or what if that really happened? I don't know.
What will other people say? I think that's the biggest thing of where we get stifled in our dreams is that we're nervous of what other people are going to think about us, right?
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of people get stuck because they're like, oh, but who cares?
Yeah.
What they think. If you have a dream in your heart, go after it.
Sure. And how can you fulfilling your dream actually serve and inspire other people to dream?
Totally. It can.
Right.
When they start seeing things from you, they're going to be like, whoa, if they can do it, well, I can do it.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people all the time. Listen, if I can do this, you can definitely do this.
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time. Yeah. If I can do this, you can do this.
Yeah. What, when dreaming, what are some tools to taking it beyond the imagination and trying to pull that into reality? What are some things?
Tools.
Yeah. So like a dream board or, writing it down.
I have a dream board.
What does that look like? What does that mean? If somebody's listening or watching and they're like, what is a dream board? What does that mean? What does that look like?
Yeah. So one of my dreams is always to have a horse. I know it sounds really weird, but on my dream board, I have a beautiful ranch with horses, and our youngest daughter, Britton, is kind of followed in my dreams, I think, and I kind of love that.
Yeah.
So, but I also have always dreamed of owning a house on the beach, and so that's on my dream board. Why not? You know, I enjoy nice things, so those kinds of things are on my dream board. But the thing that I would say is for us, those dreams are how can those also help other people? Mm-hmm. It's not just about us, oh yeah, we want this nice house. It's what can that house do for somebody else that maybe doesn't get to take a vacation somewhere? What is that dream for us that's going to awaken dreams in others when they get to come and visit,
Right.
And so dream board, I say go for it.
Yeah. So it's literally a piece of poster board.
Piece of poster board
that you got from Michael's.
Yep. And I just found all of the things that I really enjoy, and
Google image search
or magazines. I cut them out, and I put them on there with words, inspiring words. I think words are powerful.
Yeah.
So I have words on there.
Part of our dreaming is that we choose a family word every year, right? And so that's part of our dream, of keeping dreams in front of us, that sort of thing. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. It's just
words are on there.
Yeah, words are on there. And for 2020, our word was pivotal.
Yep. And it turned out to be a pivotal year.
It was a pivotal year.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But every year, I think our word has just kind of coincided with what has happened,
Yeah. It's definitely been that. So I've heard you say, and other people around you say, you've got to see it behind your eyes. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay. What does that mean when it comes to dreams?
Yeah. I mean, when you close your eyes, really, what do you see, when you close your eyes? What is that? When, maybe my friend Tia Wood, she talks about this all the time, and she's so good at explaining all of this. But what did your 5-year-old self see when you close your eyes, going back to your 5-year-old self? What did you dream about as a little kid, And so sometimes all of those kind of get pushed down and get you don't really you get older and everything kind of gets pushed to the wayside,
Yeah.
But what does that 5-year-old self dream about? And so that's what, just seeing behind your eyes, when you close those eyes, what do you really envision your life looking like? So that's what we have been doing the last 3 years. And it's pretty.
And I do the other direction. What can I do today that my 60-year-old self will go, thanks,
Absolutely.
Tom. I'm glad you did that back in 2021. I'm glad you did that back in 2020 because today I'm benefiting from it or I'm living out the results of it. So I go
because
to
that's the
what
same.
my future self
What does your future self see? Yeah.
pulling me to today.
Yeah.
Right?
What do you want that to look like when
Yeah.
you're 60 years old that you're passing on to your kids and your grandkids, their kids and just your future self? What is that? What does that look like for you?
So let's get down to the nitty-gritty in our closing comments. How are you dreaming about us, our marriage, our relationship, and how would that impact anybody that's married listening today?
Well, I mean, this is, of course, where I love to talk about.
Yes. I pinned her on the most awkward moment possible.
Thank you very much. Well, I think us dreaming together, I think we're getting better at that. We're not perfect at it. And 21 years in, our marriage is amazing, but it's not as good as it could be,
In a lot of ways, just starting.
Yeah.
With this fresh awakening.
It is. I mean, that's kind of what it feels like. We've had some struggles. We've not been perfect, but it's just what can we dream together with,
Yeah. I think we've come to the place where we realize our marriage can have a mission of speaking life into other marriages.
Totally.
And seeing what's possible. So we've spoken at a few marriage conferences, tag teamed. You did great.
Whew. Talk about stepping out of the comfort zone,
I
guys.
feel like you were less nervous doing that than just being in front of a microphone right now. It was like you need a crowd of people to not be nervous. There's 2 people in here working cameras and sound and engineering and all that kind of stuff in the studio. But
I know.
she's extremely nervous and it's super cute. You're really hot.
Thanks. I'm getting more comfortable, but then it's going to be over and then I'll be like, hey, what's the next one?
No, we can keep talking.
No, we're good.
We're talking about dreaming. We're talking about confidence. It's building right now.
No.
So
I just always encourage people to dream big. When I talk to clients and coaches, I'm just like, what could you accomplish? There's so much.
Yeah.
And you just dream big because there's just so much out there.
So we've asked every guest this, and even though I know the answer because I know you really well, I'm going to ask you this question. So if anybody is watching or listening and they want to follow you or find you or even possibly become a client of yours for health coaching journey, whatchamacallit, how do you want people to find you, locate you, or do you want them to find you?
Yes. So
Okay.
I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my name. But it's Jami Reed, my maiden name, Hammel.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm on Instagram.
Same?
Jami Hammel.
Okay.
Yep. That's it.
At Jami
At Jami Hammel.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect.
Jami, though. I mean,
Yes.
my name is spelled different.
We'll
so.
put the links in the show notes and description. And if you're watching on YouTube, you just watch them come up on the screen that way on a lower third or something like that. So we have graphics for that. But thank you.
You're welcome.
It's my favorite shows right here. All the
Thanks for
guests I've
having
had.
me.
Yeah, we had
That's
a lot
fun.
of guests in season 3, and now some guests here in season 5. So you're
It's
my
fun.
best guest.
When you told me about this, I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea to have me.
But
But
no
here we go.
comparison allowed.
That's right.
So, hey, thanks for joining us as we've had this fun chit chat on the Cultivation Podcast. This is a wrap on season 5, but be sure to sign up for our email list. Be sure to go to our website right now, live, for you to subscribe to. We have the education, the courses, those kinds of things. They're available there. ourcultivatedlives.com, ourcultivatedlives.com. We have tons of other resources. Also, we would love your feedback, your input, and we'd love to be inspired by your story. Tell us how you are living the cultivated life. We read those comments, we respond to those, and we journey together. And until next season, we will be dropping some surprise content in between this season and season 6. So don't go anywhere. Stay close, stay tuned, stay in touch so that you and I can continue to journey the cultivation journey. Thanks for checking us out today. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on all the incredible content we have coming out. Also, we'd love to hear from you in the comment section. We read those, we respond to those as we journey together in the cultivated life.